evening to you out there. This is African Free Press Television, where we report Africa from a refreshing perspective. My name is Aleo Okada, bringing you stories around Africa. Ethiopia has dismissed allegations it is violently suppressing protests in its restive Oromia region as an absolute lie. Human Rights Watch says about 200 people have been killed in the protests since November. The unrest began over government plans to expand the capital's administrative control into the region. The government later dropped the plan, but protesters dismissed the decision as too little too late. Oromia is Ethiopia's largest region, surrounding the capital, Addis Ababa. Many people in the region complain of being politically and economically marginalized in a country where the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front coalition has ruled since 1991. Uganda's main opposition leader, Kizza Besigye, has been taken into custody after vowing to lead a protest march against President Yoweri Museveni's election victory. Mr. Besigye was bundled into a police van when he tried to leave his home, where he had been under house arrest. His wife, Winnie Byanyima, said it was like a military barracks outside their home in the capital, Kampala. Mr. Museveni won Thursday's poll by a landslide to extend his 30-year rule. Mr. Besigye said the result had been rigged, while foreign observers said the poll had been marred by fear and intimidation. And President Muhammadu Buhari began a week-long official visit to Saudi Arabia and Qatar today, Monday, February 22, 2016, for talks with King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud and senior officials of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. High on the agenda of discussions between President Buhari and the Saudi monarch is the ongoing efforts by Nigeria and other members of the Organization of Petroleum Export Countries to achieve greater stability in the price of crude oil exports. In a statement on Sunday, the spokesperson for the president said that President Buhari will be accompanied by a high-powered federal government delegation, a Minister of State, Petroleum and Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Dr. Ibe Kachukwu, will be part of the delegation. An Egyptian center that helps alleged torture victims and documents their cases has vowed to continue to work despite an order for it to shut down. Officials had given the Nadim Center until Monday to cease activities, saying it had breached regulations. The group has filed an urgent appeal against the decision. Rights groups have criticized Egypt for its crackdown on dissent amid a surge of reported torture of detainees. Officials deny the allegations. Al Nadim Center for Rehabilitation of Victims of Violence has operated since 1993, providing support and counseling to victims of torture. The organization was due to be closed last Wednesday, accused of violating unspecified health ministry regulations, but authorities agreed to delay the order to give it time to contest its decision. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon is due in the South Sudan capital, Juba, on Thursday, his second visit since the country gained its independence in 2011. Ban's visit comes as implementation of the peace agreement signed last August between President Salva Kiir and his former Vice President Riek Machar is proceeding only slowly. Machar reportedly said he will only travel to Juba to form a national unity government when nearly 3,000 of his troops and police are in the capital, with a further 1,200 police. Former Botswana President Festus Moga, who is the chairperson of the Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission, the head of an international group monitoring South Sudan's peace protests, told the UN Security Council last Friday he will propose security arrangements to spur the return of rebel leader Machar as vice president. Moga said the return of Machar is a critical step to launching a national unity government that will eventually deal with South Sudan's rise in violence and humanitarian catastrophe. And the world's oldest leader, Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe, turned 92 on Sunday, with no plans to step down as the power struggle over his successors threatens to break up his ruling political party, the ZANU-PF. On Sunday, state media lauded Mugabe for his leadership since independence from Britain in 1980, while the opposition urged him to consider stepping down. Last Thursday, at Zimbabwe's capital, Harare, the 92-year-old president maintained that even though his party would choose a successor, he planned to contest the next election in 2018. But the main opposition party, the Movement for Democratic Change (MDC) Zimbabwe, which has been other groups of economic crisis, said it will be better off if the president steps down. And Saudi Arabia has put 32 people on trial, including 30 members of its own Shiite Muslim minority accused of spying for Iran, news reported on Monday. The accused, including an Iranian and Afghan, were detained in 2013, sparking expressions of concern among Saudi Shiites, who said several people were well-known figures in their communities and not involved in politics. The trial is the first in recent memory for Saudis accused of spying and may stoke tensions between local Shiites and Sunni Muslims with Iran, which strongly denied the accusations at the time. The bitter rivalry between the Sunni-ruled kingdom and Iran, a Shiite theocracy, has aggravated wars and political struggles in Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, Yemen, and Bahrain, and is regarded by many analysts as a cause of regional instability. Tensions escalated further in January when Riyadh broke off diplomatic ties following the storming of its Tehran embassy by protesters angered at Saudi Arabia's execution of a Shiite cleric convicted of involvement in the killing of policemen. And these are the stories we're tracking for you coming around Africa from African Free Press Television. For more, please do log on to our website at www.africanfreepress.com. Follow us on Twitter at African Free Press. Like our Facebook page on africanfreepress.com. Join us in our discussions on various interesting topics at African Free Press Forum and subscribe to our YouTube channel at African Free Press. My name is Leo Ketadu. Have a lovely evening.